Now, a KXAN News investigation.
An Austin attorney is behind bars. Police say the crime was pretty bold, saying it involved lying, forgery, and the misapplication of a lot of money. And the man behind it all, Will Coates, a well-known, respected Austin attorney in a position of trust. Our investigation begins with a familiar sight. High-powered, respected attorneys in a Travis County courtroom.
Come forward if your name's called.
This attorney's name is John Williams Coates, and in addition to being a lawyer, he also served as a guardian ad litem. That's an attorney who's appointed to protect and represent the best interests of children in legal proceedings. But under Coates' guardianship, the children's best interests were not always protected. In fact, far from it.
How can he stand there and say, okay, you can trust me to be the best lawyer for the kids, and then come back and siphon off this money?
The state of Texas versus John Coates.
As a guardian ad litem, Coates was appointed to represent dozens of kids who were awarded money. The money was then supposed to be kept in a trust fund until they turned 18, and that money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, is supposed to be held by the Travis County Clerk's office and then placed in a registry for the children. Problem was, in many cases,
the children, in fact, did not have money in the registry.
Austin Police Detective Billy Petty is with the White Collar Crimes Unit. He investigated every case of a child represented by Coates dating back to 2001 in both district and county courts.
What the investigation showed was that the money was commingled and used with his personal expenses.
Personal expenses that may have included his $1 million home in Rob Roy, which has since been sold, and his law practice in Bee Cave. In all, Detective Petty says the misapplication totaled $670,450 and included 138 victims. Two of those victims, the children of Chris Childs, who dealt with Coates directly to get his kids' money.
We waited about 5 weeks. They said initially they had sent the check. They lost the check. They didn't, and then he said, no, I'm sorry, we really didn't send the check. We'll send it today.
Eventually, Child's son and daughter got their money, but Childs had to drive to Coates' office to get the check. And that's odd in the sense that the money was supposed to be held at the Travis County Clerk's office, not Coates' law office, and a fact that did not go unnoticed by investigators, who discovered Coates was brazen enough to endorse checks to himself by forging the signature of the Travis County Clerk, Dana DeBeauvoir.
I understand that allegation, and that was surprising as well, that it would go that far.
Surprising? Really?
That's chutzpah. That's a lot of chutzpah. I was surprised.
DeBeauvoir and the Travis County Clerk's office were the first to uncover Coates' criminal activity and bring it to the attention of the district attorney's office, and now is looking at the oversight in place at the clerk's office to protect children's money in the future. Even though guardian ad litems and attorneys are trusted officers of the court, there is a loophole that allowed Coates to do what he did.
With the new auditing rules and our new awareness now of this possibility, I'm hoping that that loophole is now closed.
And that is where our investigation ends, with the unusual sight of a high-powered, respected attorney led away from the courtroom in handcuffs after pleading guilty to a felony charge. As it turns out, his sentence is what ultimately looks out for the children, a sentence that Assistant District Attorney Gail Van Winkle carefully considered.
If we had recommended a prison sentence on its face, there's a good chance these children would never have gotten their money.
So Van Winkle struck a deal that made every child whole. Every child and every penny with interest. The sentence also sends Coates to prison for 6 months, and he's required to relinquish his law license, serve an additional 10 years of probation, and pay restitution to any child who's uncovered as part of this case in the future.
We felt that he needed to be punished, and probation in and of itself, because it doesn't involve incarceration, we didn't feel was enough.
I think it's closure, and I think it's justice.
It's fantastic that we were able to get all of the money that was owed to these children. Is it satisfying? I don't know, it's my job.
Well, John Williams Coates could be out of prison in 6 months and then begin a 10-year probationary period. Prosecutors say he likely will never practice law again after surrendering his law license. Although he pled guilty to a felony, Coates was completely cooperative, making restitution to all of these children during the investigation and putting money into their trust accounts as they turned 18. Many didn't even know their money wasn't where it was supposed to be until they were contacted by APD detectives. If you would like to see the court documents from this case, we have them posted with this story on our website at KXAN.com. For now, in the studio live, Chris Willis, KXAN News.
Chris, thanks. And if you have a story tip for KXAN to investigate, call our tip line 512-703-5255. You may also send us an email to investigates@KXAN.com.